Another day, another poll about Donald Trump. This time, the latest poll has Trump's approval rating at its highest in the past 2 years. Interestingly, this is from Harvard Capps Harris poll. The Hill says President Trump's job approval rating is the highest it's been in 2 years, boosted by voter optimism about the economy, according to the latest Harvard Capps Harris poll. This is significant because there was a recent poll done by CBS showing that most people are very happy with the economy, and they're giving Trump credit. It's no surprise then that this would logically follow. Following the good news about the economy, Trump's polls go up. But here's what I like to do before we ever get into reading about polls. I always want to pull up the Real Clear Politics average, keeping in mind, right? So here's what we're looking at. Harvard Harris has him at a 48% approval, which is huge. We can see that at no point has he ever crossed 48% approval in the RCP average. Now, as of today, the Real Clear Politics average for Trump is 43.1, but consider the fact that the aggregate is the result of numerous polls going back as far as the 16th of May. So we have many of these polls that ended before this one began. While I don't want to say, look, the average is important. I would be willing to bet that if everyone conducted a survey today, Trump's approval would be down a little bit, but probably still up in some regards. If we're going on the latest polling data, we only have Harvard Harris, the 29th and the 30th, giving Trump the highest approval rating. So take that for what it is. It's a complicated issue, but for now, we are seeing this data. So this is huge news for the president. And we typically have stories like this. And I will also stress, too, I don't make videos when his approval dips, that, and it does. Like, I made a video here like, wow, look how much it's up. It goes down because it fluctuates. It's more interesting, in my opinion, the reason I do videos like this is because something happens and then we check the polls afterwards. So this is a direct response to the good news on the economy. If there was anything particularly newsworthy, I'd probably cover it. But in this regard, I think it's fair to point out the average and the number. So before we read into exactly what's going on here at the Hill, go to timcast.com/donate if you'd like to support my work. Numerous options for donating, physical, crypto, and through PayPal. Of course, liking and commenting on the video is the best thing you can do. The engagement really, really helps. Share the video and also subscribe if you haven't already. So let's read this story. They say, the survey found that 48% approve of the job Trump is doing, compared to 52% who say they disapprove. That's up from 45% approval in March. The last time the president's job approval rating reached 48% in the Harvard Capps Harris poll survey was in June of 2017. The average has never been that high. Trump appears to be getting a lift from the economy, with a record 62% approving of his approach to employment and 59% approving of his handling of the economy. This is significant. It means that Trump enacted policies, people's lives have improved, and they said, hey, I'm happy, right? There's one video I always like to cite, and it's just an anecdote, but it was a middle-aged white dude crying, saying that his factory shut down, he had no job, they're about to lose their home, and then Trump enacted some policies, things started to change as soon as he got elected, his factory reopened, and this dude's crying, saying now everything's flipped. He's going to send his kids to college, they're saving, his house is saved. Man, that speaks, that speaks to people. The economy is important. Because what people don't realize is that ideology, whether Trump is immoral or not, is less important to people than whether or not they have food, a home, and can help their families. But a lot of people on the left are wrapped up in more of like the ideological future, the moral future of the country. People don't care about that. They say, while only 39% of voters said the country is on the right track, 51% said the economy is heading in the right direction. 71% of voters said the economy is very strong or somewhat strong. People's views on the economy are gradually pushing Trump's numbers up, and his actions on other issues like China and immigration are neutral to positive, said Mark Penn, the co-director of the Harvard Capps Harris poll survey. Every point of increase in this range of 45 to 50 improves the possibility of re-election. And that's another story that I've pulled up. This is a Daily Wire analysis. Analyst who's predicted presidency correctly who predicted presidency correctly last 9 elections says there's only one way Trump will lose. I'd be willing to bet the only way Trump's going to lose is if the economy goes down just before 2020, which a lot of people are worried about because you got to think about whether or not you trust politicians. Do the congressional Democrats want to win, or help America. If they want to win because of their moral ideology, I would be willing to bet they would sabotage the economy. Don't forget, Bill Maher once said, bring on the recession if it gets rid of Trump. To me, that's insane. I don't care about Trump. I care about the American people. I care about things doing well. I care about our foreign policy. Because of that, I will be critical of some of Trump's policies on foreign issues, and I will praise the things he does in this country that are good. Trump is secondary to what's actually going to be happening. Are there good things on the horizon for people? It's not just Trump. You got to pay attention to Senate, the Supreme Court. They all play a factor in whether or not the world is going to get better. Many people are so morally opposed to Trump, they don't care. They don't care about what the politicians actually do. They believe the ends justify the means. To me, that's nightmarish. Well, let's see what this is written by Ash Shkow of the Daily Wire. In the past few weeks, analysts who have created models to predict the outcome of presidential elections have all noted that as of right now, Donald Trump is on track to win re-election, possibly in a landslide. We've heard this one before. One such analyst, American University professor Alan Lichtman, said recently that the only way Trump would lose re-election is if Democrats grow a spine and impeach him. Whoa, that's actually really big news. It was previously stated if the economy downturns. If this guy's opinion, and he's got a great track record, is that he has to be impeached to lose, then Trump's guaranteed to win, essentially. Impeachment is an insane idea, if you were to ask me. It's a false dichotomy to say Democrats have a choice between doing what is right and what is constitutional and what is politically right. Impeachment is also politically right, Lichtman told CNN Wednesday. Lichtman has correctly predicted the last 9 presidential elections dating back to '84. Lichtman is not alone in predicting Trump will win, however. He is alone in suggesting impeachment could stop the president's re-election. On May 21st, Politico reported on 3 separate election models that all predict Trump will win. Wow, seriously? That was an accident. Let's go back. I just want to do this. They all predicted Trump will win re-election thanks to the roaring U.S. economy. Donald Luskin, chief investment officer at Trend Macrolytics, told the media outlet that the economy is just so damn strong right now, and by all historic precedent, the incumbent should run away with it. Ray Fair, a Yale economist, who quite literally wrote the book on election modeling, has also predicted a Trump win. Even if you have a mediocre, and this is why they want to impeach him. This is why the Democrats are calling for impeachment, not because Trump's actually done anything worthy of being impeached. Of course, some people will argue it. No, they know it's their only chance. My God, I hate politics, man. Can we just make things work? No, it's about winning. It's about tribe. Even if you have a mediocre but not great economy, and that's more or less consensus for between now and the election, that has a Trump victory and by a non-trivial margin. Fair told Politico. The outlet noted that his model predicted Trump would win 54% of the popular vote in 2020. Oh, this is great. Could you imagine if they bypass the Electoral College with the National Popular Vote Coalition? How brutal would it be if Trump actually secures like 520 electoral votes because all of these solid blue states give their votes to the popular candidate? This is why the Electoral College is important, guys. This is why you can't do the national popular vote thing, because they're predicting Trump's going to win the popular vote with 54%. Please, don't. Let's keep the Electoral College intact. Mark Zandi, chief economist at Moody's Analytics, used 12 different economic models to predict what will happen in 2020. Trump won in all of them and quite comfortably in most of them, Politico reported. If the election were held today, Trump would win according to the models and pretty handily, Zandi told the outlet. In 3 of 4 of them, it would be pretty close. He's got low gas prices, low unemployment, and a lot of other political variables at his back. The only exception is his popularity, which matters a lot. If that falls off a cliff, it would make a big difference. Think about that. Everything can be great, but if people think Orange Man bad, they wouldn't vote for him. And that's what's really important. The Democrats don't have a charismatic leader. I think you can stop, ignore whatever. Ignore the economy, ignore unemployment, whatever. Who on the Democrat side has got the charisma? Personally, I think Yang is great. I like Tulsi Gabbard. I don't think they could beat Trump. The reason I'm willing to get behind them is because I want them on the debate stage to talk about very important ideas. Tulsi Gabbard, anti-war, staunch and principled. Andrew Yang, automation, nuclear power, etc. Those are important issues that I want to hear the nation talk about. So I'm glad to see it looks like they will be on at least one of the debate stages for now. But I don't think any of them could defeat Trump. And I also think it would be unfair from an intellectually honest position to say the president shouldn't be elected simply because you don't like him. He's not popular. Well, if the economy is doing really, really well, if people in this country are faring better than they ever have, morality, full stop, your morality is subjective. What some people think is right, other people's don't. All we can really do is make sure we're maximizing, care for most people. I do think there's a lot of issues with criminal justice that need to be reformed, private prisons, etc. We're not perfect. We have a lot of work to do. But at least for now, we got some good things. And Trump did work with Democrats and Republicans on criminal justice reform. So those are great things. Foreign policy is a big issue. We'll see what happens. We will see how things turn out. They say in the additional models, Trump could lose if the economy crashes or if some major scandal breaks, as Andy said. Trump's popularity plummeting could also be a factor. Any of those things, from an impeachment inquiry to an economic crash, could happen. But right now, that's just something Democrats would be hoping for? Hoping for? No. Okay? You don't want to hope for impeachment. That's divisive and dangerous. And you don't want to hope for an economic crash. That's insane. But you got to point out, some people just want to win. So those things would be good for them. They say if the economy remains strong going into the election, Trump will certainly lose, since Democrats running for president are promising to wait. I think they're mistake. This makes no sense. Oh, okay, hold on. According to election models that have a decades-long history of correctly predicting the election, Trump will win re-election. According to polls, which have a documented history of being wrong, Trump will lose. If the economy remains strong going into the election, Trump will certainly lose, since Democrats running for president are promising to undo the policies that have helped the economy. I think this is a typo. This doesn't make sense. I think Ash is trying to say if the economy remains strong, Trump will certainly win, since the Democrats want to undo what's making the country work, right? Am I missing? Yeah, look at this. Anyone else confused by that last line? Yo, editors, what is this? Shouldn't it state the opposite? Yes. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I got some more segments coming up in just a few moments, and I will see you there.